Now that looks like a very interesting situation. My broker's really enthusiastic about it. What does your broker say?
Well, my broker is gold, and gold says, when gold talks, people listen. As the gold spot price reached yet another new all-time high recently of over $3,200 an ounce, you might think that the gold spot price is telling us something. If you want to protect your wealth, then maybe we should listen to what gold has to say. Let's begin. I recently bought gold at the expensive level after it crossed $3,000 an ounce. You might think that gold at $3,000 or higher is expensive, but here's the thing. Gold has always been expensive. So what is gold telling us? So what's the first thing gold is saying? Speak softly and carry a big stick. There's a lot of things that scream for attention, but gold speaks softly. So a few years ago, I bought a 1/10 ounce gold coin each month until I filled up this tube. The 1/10 ounce gold coin was the one size that I could afford to buy and know that I could buy on a monthly basis. But in a 2-year span, the coins add up. This tube holds 25 1/10 ounce gold coins, or 2.5 ounces of gold. Do I care what the premiums are on a 1/10 ounce gold coin versus the lower premiums that could be found on a 1 ounce gold coin? Not really. Gold is telling me that it's better to be holding 2.5 ounces of gold that I could afford than to be holding no gold at all, especially if all the premiums paid have been totally absorbed by this rising gold price, and then some. I once had a monthly car payment, but with that final payment made early, I shifted that budget to a monthly gold purchase. That small shift has netted me a full tube of gold coins, 2.5 ounces of gold, now worth $8,000. So if gold speaks softly, then a 1/10 ounce gold coin really speaks softly. But those 1/10 ounce gold coins bought repeatedly do add up to a statement. So a month ago, if you were listening to gold and you had the funds available to buy a full ounce of gold, you may have been able to protect $3,000 of your wealth in the form of gold, with some added premium. Or if you had a smaller budget, a 1/10 ounce gold coin or a 1/4 ounce gold coin, that could have been purchased too. Less than a month ago, the Wall Street Journal headline on March 14th was, "Gold exceeds $3,000 with plenty of room to climb further." They said that the metal looks well placed to benefit from macroeconomic tailwinds and geopolitical worries. Then I placed a gold and silver purchase myself, not because of headlines and not because of a timed silver squeeze, but because I like to make regular purchases of precious metals bullion. So I bought gold when it was priced over $3,000 an ounce, but then this happened. Welcome to Silver Heist. Thank you to our returning subscribers and guests. If you like gold, silver, or coin with a good story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Like this recent video with over 102,000 views, I found that you might be a better gold and silver stacker than you think. More on this later. A day after I made my gold purchase, when gold was expensive at over $3,000, this happened. A March 31st, 2025 Wall Street Journal headline, "Gold soars above $3,100 on tariffs and geopolitical turbulence." They stated that gold hit a fresh record, soaring above $3,100 a troy ounce as a widening global trade war and uncertain geopolitical outlook boost the precious metal's appeal as a safe haven and inflation hedge. Major banks have raised their price forecast for the yellow metal this month, with Goldman Sachs saying it now sees it at $3,300 an ounce at the end of the year. And they are seeing stronger than expected ETF inflows and sustained central bank demand. But then President Trump formally announced his tariff plan. Notably, silver and gold bullion has been exempted, as well as dory bars, so semi-refined silver or gold bars could still be shipped to America from mines all around the world and refined in U.S. refineries. Tariff-free. There will be no tariffs as of now on mined product or minted product at the U.S. border. Gold and silver are money, and there is no tariff on money. And the shiny yellow and white metals are important for finance as well as industry, so there will be no tariff on these metals. But there are tariffs on many, many other things. Tariffs may be a necessary change, but they are a change, and change brings uncertainties. And uncertainty brings a flight to safety. When an ocean storm is brewing, ships seek a safe harbor or a safe haven. Right now, gold is the safe haven. Because on April 11th, the Wall Street Journal reported that gold pushes above $3,200 per ounce to a new record, with the first ever close above the unprecedented $3,200 level. This makes 13 of the last 14 weeks that gold has closed higher. Worries about shifting currency values with the onset of President Trump's tariff push have investors turning to gold. What has happened to the U.S. dollar in the past few weeks? Well, the Wall Street Journal showed on April 3rd that the U.S. dollar weakens as investors seek safety elsewhere. And then more recently, on April 10th, the Wall Street Journal reported that the dollar index was falling. The DXY dollar index is falling to a 52-week low, if not a 2-year low. So as the dollar weakens relative to other currencies, the dollar is also weakening relative to gold. With gold getting more expensive the further the dollar falls. With gold now over $3,200, when gold crossed just over $3,100, a single gram of gold became worth $100. Imagine that. A single gram of gold is now worth $100. I'd like to thank APMEX for being an ongoing sponsor of my channel, and I'd also like to thank APMEX for offering the deal to customers that I picked up last year. I found a gold gram at spot deal at APMEX last year for $66.20. A gold gram bar might not be my typical purchase, but what could go wrong? Less than a year later, a gold gram at spot deal would cost you $104, or 57% more. Gold is telling us that one way to control your wealth is to buy gold and look for the best deal at the time, but you can only buy what fits in your budget. For some people, it's a full ounce. For other people, it's much smaller, even a gram. I do like fractional gold, halves, and more specifically tenths, and then also quarter ounces. But with gold this expensive, gold may be saying go metric. Let's get small. Let's measure gold in grams. Gold is on a tear for the past year. I've made a case that through tracking my own purchases that it has been better to spread out 4 purchases of quarter-ounce gold coins rather than saving to buy a full-ounce gold coin later in the year. Even though a full-ounce gold coin comes at a much lower premium, gold is saying it's better to buy now. Buy small and repeat than to save and wait to buy a bigger coin. Gold is telling us that there is no time like the present and that time has no impact on weight. We may think that if we buy today, the price of gold may go down tomorrow or next week. Well, that can be true. What if it isn't? What if the trends pushing gold up are not going away anytime soon? What if the trends don't change? Are central banks going to slow down on their gold purchases? Is the U.S. dollar going to get stronger? Is the dollar going to get stronger at the expense of the gold price? Is the global economy returning to the so-called stability of cheap imports to the U.S. with low tariffs at the U.S. border, or have the wheels of change been put into motion? If you stay inside your budget, gold may be telling us that the time to protect your wealth is now, and to protect your wealth repeatedly, whenever you get the chance. Therefore, gold may be expensive, but a good habit is even more valuable. If you want to see the 7 signs that you may be a better gold and silver stacker than you think, you'll want to watch this video next.